I've never found an auto mechanic, even near next to the equal of Tom Dwyer and his folks in kind. It's not a matter of just degree. They're a couple degrees better. It's in kind. The quality of the work, the service, the intelligence in the sense of having a whole view of an automobile and preventive maintenance, the whole thing, anticipating things that go wrong. I've always been bad about taking the car in every 3,000 miles or every 3 months for you know, the oil and lube and the checkpoints, and I get a reminder religiously. So I've gotten good at that. Within 3 to 4 months, I'm always in there, and then they do these periodic checks, and they'll say if I need something right away, they'll say, you know, you better get this done now, right away. You're going over the mountains to ski at Christmas time. Your tires, I wouldn't want to be driving on these tires. Okay, do it. And then they'll say, and here's some other things that you're going to need attention. Maybe in 10,000 miles this, and 20,000 miles. So they give me a kind of program, and they'll tell me about how much dough it's going to cost, so I can actually kind of come up with a budget, you know, and so that in a let's say in a fat year, I get my cars, every damn thing needs to be done on them, and in a lean year, I can, you know, stretch it out, and they always help me stretch it out. So they're excellent about prevention. I don't pay much attention. It's like going to a doctor you really trust. You know, what he's going to tell you all this arcane stuff about your veins and arteries or whatever the hell, or your bones, and I'm not going to understand it anyway. And I trust him, and he does good work, and that's the way I feel about Dwyer. Every time I go over there, they hand out a little cards stamped saying rate us, and I just take, I never check the boxes off. I just draw the line through highest quality, and then comments about how we may improve, and I just say, don't do anything. It ain't broken, don't fix it, keep on keeping on. One of the things about taking my cars to Tom Dwyer's is I learned some things about cars. They want me to know how my car works. They don't want me to live in some kind of world of mystery where they know this stuff, this arcane stuff, and I don't know it, so I got to take their word for it. They're painstaking about wanting me to understand. As much as I'm willing to understand, as much as I'm willing to learn, they are incredibly patient, and they're very interested, even excited about explaining things to me. And that is rare.
Why do you think that is?
I think they like cars, I think they like people, and I think it comes to something you raised before, their commitment to the environment, including the human environment. Not just that they don't want the air polluted and everything else, but the human environment, of how you treat another person. How you treat another person. And they treat me, and I've overheard in talking to, hell, dozens, hundreds of customers over 25 years, they treat everybody like a special individual. So you just, if you care about having your cars working well, you know, I do, and I need Dwyer. I would be heartbroken if Tom decided to reload, get the hell out of here, move somewhere else, or if he became Obama's Secretary of Transportation, tell him that. You know. Well, I don't know. It was in the early mid-'80s, call it 25 years ago. I had a Toyota, a few years old. Was still going to the dealer to get it oil and lube, and I remember going out there one Saturday, and gave it an oil and lube, and they said, "Oh, we got bad news and good news for you, Mr. Callahan." Okay, they said the bad news is that you got really brake problems. These brakes aren't going to last you. You'd be lucky to get home with these brakes. The good news is we can do it this afternoon. We got a empty stall here. How much? $600. But it'll be the whole thing, warranty, guaranteed. And I almost did it. I came that close to springing for it. And then I said, well, how do you know? He said, well, you don't have any brake fluid. So out. And, okay. But something, you know, I said, you know what, man, I'm probably not, I'm going to do it. I'll schedule a time next week, because I was tight on time. So I didn't do it, and then got to thinking about it, and somebody had recommended, you know, Tom Dwyer. And so I took the car over to Tom on Monday, and he smiled. He had that grin, you know, infectious grin that Tom's got. He said, "Oh," he said, "Man, maybe they're right. I never want to accuse anybody of being crooked, let alone an automobile dealership. You know, he was kidding. And he said, but there's a trick involved. The oldest trick in the books is, you know, you just say that the fluid has gone out of the brakes and do the whole thing, or do a little bit and charge the customer for doing the whole thing. So he said, what we're going to do is fill up your fluid for you, and you drive it around and check it every 2 days and come back in a week. Well, I came back in a week and the damn fluid was full. And I said, okay, you're my mechanic. And I've had a hell of a time getting a decent mechanic, an honest one and competent one. And the two, honesty is more important, but competence is right up there. And so I took the car to Tom, and for 25 years I've brought all my cars to Tom. I won't buy a used car without taking it to Tom and Ken and Drew and Steve and the boys, you know, and without having them check it over. And they're always, they don't miss anything. And I also really enjoy the service. I enjoy kidding around these guys to service, and I know I don't have to worry about my cars one bit.